What's up guys, Dr. Beau here, and I'm just returning back from an amazing family vacation in Oahu, Hawaii. And there is so much confusion out there as far as what are the COVID steps that you have to take to be allowed into the state of Hawaii. So today, I want to break them down, tell you it's a 3-step process. It's not that confusing, but you have to pay attention to the details. So let's dive in. Now, the first thing that everyone's gonna ask is, Beau, do you have to quarantine to get into Hawaii? And prior to the start of 2020, you did. You had to quarantine for up to 14 days. Now, that has all changed. As of right now, it is April 14th. We went to Hawaii at the end of March, so March 30th, and we got back at the beginning of this week, so we're there for about 2 weeks. You did not have to quarantine. However, here's where it gets interesting. You need a negative COVID test 3 days maximum, 72 hours maximum to your departure date and time. I watched lots of YouTube videos. I tried to write it all down because can be overwhelmed and confused, just like you are if you're actually probably watching this and getting ready to travel to Hawaii. So the first thing that you have to know is this. Yes, you need a negative COVID test 72 hours prior to departure. However, the COVID test has to be on the approved provider list set forth by the state of Hawaii. Now, the easiest way that I found to figure out which was an approved test and a non-approved test is to actually go on your airline of choice and look at the pages that they have produced. We flew Alaskan over and Hawaiian Airlines back. So I actually went on both pages and I looked up what are the approved providers to give an approved COVID test. And what you'll find out is there's a list of different providers. Now, here's a couple things to keep in mind. There are some COVID tests that you can do yourself at home. However, due to when your flight date is, we flew on a Wednesday. Those people on YouTube and other places suggested that we did not, and again, did not use one of those mail-in like Zoom, I think they're called Clear or Vital, one of those companies, tests at home, just because the delay in shipping on a Sunday. So for us, the CVS Minute Clinic, which is about 10 minutes up the road here, did and was and is on the approved COVID testing. Now, people are gonna ask this, Beau, is it a rapid test? And the answer is no. Rapid tests do not work to allow you into Hawaii. Again, I cannot stress that enough. We saw people in the airport that produced a rapid test result and it was not allowed. So the first thing that you got to do, get on the websites and you can look at the state of Hawaii website and or your different airlines that are flying into Oahu or into Maui and find out what is an approved testing site. So you got to get a COVID test done, number one, 72 hours prior to departure date and time. If it's over 72 hours, it will not be valid by the state of Hawaii. Also saw somebody on YouTube that had that issue. They had to change their entire trip just because they were about 2 hours ahead. So guys, please pay attention. I will also tell you this. Yes, it does evoke an incredible amount of stress because you're probably spending $5, $8, $10, $20,000 getting ready for this trip to Hawaii. And you're sitting there going, when is my test gonna come in? When is my result gonna come in? For us, it took 48 hours to get a result back from using the CVS Minute Clinic. However, there were people on our flight that had still not received their COVID tests as we took off. Now, with all of that being said, if you do your test, it comes back negative. You have to go onto the state of Hawaii's website and create a profile. Put the link below here in the video as well. You have to put a profile and you have to upload certain documents. You have to upload a picture of you, I believe an identification, like a driver's license. You have to tell them where you're staying at, so like what hotel you're staying at or what residence you're staying at, your duration of stay, as well as your flight information. After you upload that, you have to have proof of your negative COVID test, and you also have to upload that to the state of Hawaii's website. And then, check this out, 24 hours before your departure date, you have to go on that website and answer questionnaire, basically, do you feel sick, how do you feel, et cetera, et cetera. And at the end of all of that, you press enter and they will email you a QR code. My QR code came almost instantly. My wife's and my kids came about 25 to 30 minutes later. You take that QR code and that is your quote unquote pass to allow entry into the state of Hawaii. Now, step 3, and like I said, it's a 3-step process. Negative COVID test number 1 from an approved person. Number 2, upload it to the state of Hawaii, all the information. And then number 3, producing the QR code. We flew Alaskan Airline into Oahu. Prior to us leaving San Jose, California, Alaskan offers something called a pre-clear check. Again, it's a pre-clear check. And what that meant is when we checked in, when we dropped our baggage off and got all of our boarding passes and everything, they offered the opportunity for us to use a pre-clear check. So they upload all the documents and they produced a wristband for us. That wristband allowed us to not have to go through all of the verification steps that happen in Hawaii. If you do not have a pre-clear check with a wristband, then once you depart your plane in Hawaii, you have to wait in a huge line, which takes about an hour to an hour and a half, because I asked a few people, hey, how long have you been in line? A couple of them said a little over an hour and a half. And you have to basically zigzag through, like it almost looks like a line like at Disneyland, waiting to get verified. Now, once you're verified, you can go about normal, like a normal visit, right? Now, yes, masks are still mandated in Hawaii as well. Now, last thing I'll say about this, if you are traveling inter-island, meaning you fly to Oahu and then you have to fly to Maui or you want to go to Kauai, they are implementing a rapid test at the airport prior to you getting on your next flight to that island. And why do I tell you this? I tell you because I've also read stories of people that have had little windows, meaning like 30 to 45 minutes between flight 1 and flight 2, and they're missing flight number 2 because the test isn't getting done fast enough. So if you are right now in the stages of trying to figure out your flights, I would leave minimally 90 minutes from your landing date to your departure date of your second flight. And again, you will go to the airport, they will have like an area where they go and they test you, and then you literally sit there and wait, and as long as it's all clear, then they let you board the plane and leave from there. If not, or it comes back positive, then you have to quarantine. Now, last thing I'll say is this. Do you need to have the QR code and everything done prior to your departure from the mainland to Hawaii? The answer is no, because a lot of people still didn't get their results back. They were literally sitting there and doing it on the departure, or as they were leaving the mainland to go to the state of Hawaii. So I hope, guys, that helps clarify a few things. I know there's a lot of confusion around it right now. Like I said, we were just in Hawaii at the end of March and into April 2021. This is very fluid situations. Things change every day, every week. So please do your research. Please use this video as one of many videos that you should watch, as well as different places that you should read online. So State of Hawaii website's great. Like I said, your airlines are also really good because they'll be very, very on top of it. Now, last thing is this. I was completely freaked out with everything, but it really was not that bad once you kind of went through the process. I will lastly tell you this. Make sure you print everything and take it with you. Also, take screenshots of your QR codes on your phone. So when you get asked, hey, do you have your QR code? You just show them yes, versus having to go in to log in. So I had a little folder. I'm a doctor, of course I'm gonna have folders, right? And I printed everything out, all my negative COVID tests, I had that. I had all my answers right there, and I had my QR codes. So when they said, hey, do you have everything? I said, absolutely. I opened, I showed them that, and I showed them my QR code. They scanned the QR code, looked through it really quickly, and we were off on our way. All right, guys, I know if you're going to Hawaii, you're excited, you're scared, you're enthusiastic, you're wondering, man, is there so many hurdles to jump over? And there is. It's worth it. It's fun. It's still Hawaii. I mean, of course, why wouldn't it be? But hopefully this video will help ease some of the anxiety around it, because I had a ton of anxiety and I couldn't find too many videos really laying it all out for me. All right, if you guys have questions, please ask below this video. I will hop into the comments. I'll do everything I can to help you guys out. And I hope that this helps you and you have an amazing, wonderful vacation and trip to Hawaii. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.